Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about one of the evidence of evolution, comparative anatomy. Comparative anatomy is the study of similarity and differences in the anatomy of two species, and there's three structures of comparative anatomy, which is homologous structure, analogous structure, and vestigial structure, which we are going to discuss today. Homologous structure. What do I mean by homologous structure is when we have a similar structure but different function. Let's say a human hand, and let's say a bat's hand. A bat used their hands to fly. Humans use their hands to grab things and so on. So a bat and a human hand, they're made of this kind of similar things, like similar bones, but they're used for different functions. And both human and bats comes from a common ancestor. So homologous structure has similar structure but different function. And because they have similar structure, they come from a common ancestor. So this is a homologous structure. Similar structure, different function, and they come from a common ancestor. So an analogous structure is when we have a different structure but similar function. Let's take bird and bat as an example. Their wings are made from different structure, but they are used for similar functions to fly, and it's the same for bee wings and the bird wings or the wings of the bat. They are made from different structures, but they have the same function, which is fly, but they don't come from a common ancestor. What do I mean by an ancestor? It's like we have a certain species, let's say species H, which been broken down into two different species, which is species E and let's say A. So we have a species that been broken down by two different species. So this is what I mean by an ancestor. So an homologous structure is when we have different structure but similar functions. So like birds and bats, they both use their wings to fly, but their wings are made of different structure. Vestigial structure. What do I mean by vestigial structure? Vestigial structure is a structure that was left over from an evolution that was useful and now became useless. What I mean by evolution is like when, let's say, species H, which is an ancestor, and then species E and A, which been, derived from species H. So evolution is like when the species H been broken down into two different species. So this is what we call by evolution. So let's say our wisdom teeth. Our wisdom teeth was useful for our ancestor because they used to eat raw things like raw meat and so on, but now it's useless because now we eat more like soft food that aren't the soft food that makes our jaw smaller than it used to be. Like our ancestor used to eat really rough things, which is chew on really hard food, which makes their jaws a bit bigger. So they had space for the wisdom teeth, but now we eat much softer food, which they aren't space for our wisdom teeth because our jaw is a bit smaller. So this is what a vestigial structure is. Another example of vestigial structure is our tail. You can see it in the embryo stage in here. It's present in different species, which was useful in our common ancestor, but now is useless for us. It's in here, it's in our spine. It's the last bit of our spine. You can get rid of it, it won't cause any harm. And yeah, thank you for listening. This is Comparative Anatomy.